Now, why would the artist do that?
I'll love you from the afterlife.
No.
I'll love you from the afterlife.
Yeah, he did it. No, because it's like really like they need to figure that they need to wrap this shit up.
I don't know any world where there's that much coincidence.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, I don't believe in coincidence that much. A lot of people say, if that was my car and I didn't have nothing to do with it, I would have came out immediately and said something like, what the was this? But he hasn't said a word. He was actually touring up until he had no other choice but to cancel his tour because it was getting hot.
This the kind of beat to go, this the kind of beat to go, this the kind of beat to go, rock, top, top.
Welcome back to another episode of the Petty Headquarters. I'm your host, Tiana Locke, and this is
Jesse Strange.
And we are back at it again with another video. And this time, we finally have something that is outside of the baddies realm, something that has clearly taken over the internet, the news, the media, and it's this whole thing going on with this upcoming artist by the name of David that is involved in an alleged murder investigation. So yeah,
and we're gonna deep dive a little bit into that,
a little bit into it.
And I'm very excited to cover it because it is an unraveling story. It's still ongoing. So whenever this comes out, there's probably going to be way more updates
and information.
Exactly.
For sure. Yep.
Exactly. So, but before we begin, I'd like to say hello, everybody, and welcome back to those who are coming back, and welcome to those who are new. We're a pop culture podcast. We cover reality TV, Zeus Network, but also pop culture, like I said. So welcome. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe and just tell us where you're from. We're excited to see where you guys are from. It's really cool. Also, I'd like to remind you guys that, we will be not hosting, but being a part of a Baddies live stream for the Baddies reunion in New Jersey. So if you are located in the New Jersey, New York area and would like to come hang out, we will be posting information on that very soon.
Yes.
But yeah, anything else you'd like to say before we begin?
No.
All right, cool.
Yeah, let's start.
Let's jump into it. So, I have been all over this case because if you know me, you know that I love to be invested in these murder cases and stuff like that. It's a little thing of mine. And it just so happened that, first of all, I brought this to your attention because she didn't know and I didn't know who David was. So if you don't know who David is, he's an artist who originally started off on streaming. He was young young streamer. He's 20 years old now, I think, or 21 or something. He's young.
Yeah, I believe he's 21.
Something like that. We'll get into it. But he had his startup in streaming, and then what happened was his come up was he started making music because he was getting copyrighted on his live streams over the music he was using. Yeah. So he said, fuck it, I'm going to make my own music. And then he ended up popping off on TikTok and then becoming really big, where he opened up for SZA. He made a song with Kylie Uchis. Yep. He was hanging out with who's Selena Gomez's boyfriend?
I forgot his name.
That guy, the producer guy. Mm-hmm. So he was pretty big, and to my surprise, he was very big, like 36 million fucking
streams on
Spotify. Yeah. I had no idea who he was. I guess a lot younger.
I had no idea who he was either, and then I heard some songs. I was like, oh wait, I've actually heard some of his music before.
Yeah, and apparently a lot of people have, and you can tell he has a younger audience.
Yeah.
But let's give you a quick quick synopsis of what's been happening.
Yeah, for sure.
Of what's been happening if you don't already know. So a decomposing body identified as 15-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez was found in the trunk of a Tesla that is registered to singer David Anthony Burke, whose stage name is David. This discovery triggered an active police investigation. So when this first came out, I was kind of like under the impression of somebody who didn't know who David was just the headlines made it seem like, okay, this Tesla was under his name, but not necessarily him.
Right.
That was the impression you got because it's this famous guy and he's on tour right now. Like when they found the body, he was on tour.
Right.
And he's been on tour for like a month or so.
Right.
Authorities have executed at least one search warrant at the Hollywood Hills residence associated with Burke. Burke is reportedly cooperating with investigators but has not been publicly charged as of yet. Burke has canceled the upcoming U.S. and European tour dates, and his public activity has paused while investigators proceed. So it was a little weird. So we're watching this whole thing play out in real time. So over the past couple of days, since maybe last week of the discovery, you see little information going off here and there. And overall, we're just going to give you what we know so far, what they're speculating, what's kind of conspiracy, what's not. And then it opens up a conversation, a deeper conversation on children and social media and protecting them and always being involved. There's just so many questions. And unfortunately, we won't be able to have answers today because we don't have all the information.
Right.
But there's just a lot going on. And honestly, this whole thing gets like freaky.
It does. It
right?
does. Yeah, it does. One of my concerns about this whole thing is, and I know there's like a lot of information like all over the place, but one thing that I wanted to talk about is just the fact that, not only was she 15 when they had this intimate relationship, but apparently, there's, screenshots and information that he was talking to her on Discord when she was like 12.
11, yeah.
12. I heard 12.
Yeah, Fortnite. They met pplaying Fortnite.
It's crazy.
When she was 11, yeah.
Like you and he was like around 17, around there. And I'm just like, this is actually outrageous. So not only, okay, you guys were together when she was 15, but now it really does. We're dealing with a situation of grooming and, she was 12, but then also it's like, where were the parents? Were they involved? And she was missing for a while before her body was even found. So it's like, okay, again, what happened?
Right.
What happened? And like, obviously right now we're not hearing anything from the parents. And also according to some information that, we looked at, the parents knew she was in this relationship. Her family knew. I don't know if like she had both parents in her life, but her family knew. And it seemed like they were fine with it. And so that's just pretty alarming to me, to be honest. Like everything is just a little weird.
Well, she had a reputation for running away with this rapper, right? So
really?
Yeah. So the story goes in February, before she went missing for the last time, she had went missing in February, I believe, which was just a few months before the second time she went missing. And basically she went missing. Apparently she was in Hollywood with David and they found her. The police brought her back to her school, which is what the teacher was talking about. And then she ran away again. And that was the April. And that was the last time the family had seen their daughter, because there are two missing posters, missing person posters, and there's two different dates. And those coincide with everything else where she went missing earlier in that year. They found her. They brought her back. Then she decided to run away again. So clearly she had a history of
running away.
Of running away with this guy. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird that, I guess the family... listen, I don't want to judge, but at the end of the day, you can tell that the family knew about it. You knew that they clearly weren't, I don't know.
Alarmed.
I wouldn't say alarmed, because at the end of the day, we don't know to what extent they were able to, I guess, put out the missing persons. There's so many missing people that go missing every day that never get the attention that other people get. You know what I mean? But all that to say, it's still weird that, I don't know, that the family, I guess, were not more adamant about keeping her away from this guy, maybe. I don't know, though. I'm not a parent, so I can't judge. I don't know the full story as of yet, but it's kind of like weird.
Yeah. Do you think that because she had a history of running away, that the parents were just like, oh, she'll be back?
Probably.
Do you think that I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, I wouldn't know at the end of the day. This would be a conversation that I guess we would have to ask like the parents. But then it's also like, it's an ongoing investigation. So they're probably not even going to talk.
No, of course not. Of course not.
So I want to give you guys the timeline of everything. And then we'll break down all like the evidence of like what the internet has brought to the table, right?
Yeah, the internet has been chewing this guy up, yo. Like, I'm like, the internet is showing you more receipts, more everything, and lining things up way more than the police at this point.
100%.
Like, the police they're gonna have to learn something from people on social media because this is outrageous.
Yeah, 100%. So in April 2024, Celeste Rivas Hernandez was reportedly reported missing. On September 8th, 2025, a vehicle was found, a Tesla found abandoned and impounded in a Hollywood towing place. A decomposing body was discovered in the trunk because the people working there, they smelled something foul, they had suspicions, they called the cops. That's how it was found. From the 13th to the 18th, authorities identified that the remains were Celeste Rivas Hernandez and conducted a search of the residence of David. There's pictures of them taking out computers and like 8 bags of evidence.
Wow.
They also were able to identify Celeste because I think they only found a head and a hip. I don't think it was the full body. They were only able to identify her, I believe, because the mom had confirmed that she had a tattoo
on her finger
that said shh, which is actually the same tattoo that David has on his finger, index finger. And then also the parents had confirmed that she had a boyfriend named David. So that's when the internet started to really get suspicious about him and actually being a part of the case rather than just a guy whose car got stolen and was put in this mess for some reason. That's pretty much all we know as of right now
in terms of like the legal investigation. But now getting into the whole social media aspect of it now, obviously there's a lot of people on the internet that's just talking shit. You know, some people are even using this whole incident for, you know, their own clout chasing tendencies, which is like really fucked up and ugly and disgusting. But there have been people like online looking into this and literally pulling up his old videos, him dropping a song every year on her birthday. You know, even in one of his videos, he's like seen like carrying a dead body, blood on him. Like he even sold merch like with the bloody shirt, you know, to kind of like symbolize. And in his interview, when he talked about that video, he stated that, you know, it's just like, you know, being reborn, like killing myself, but like all this weird shit. But I'm looking at this and I'm like, just the way everything is panning out with the whole situation, you making that music video kind of like after this whole situation had allegedly occurred already just gives like, this is a little shady. Then you're dropping something every year on her birthday as if you feel some type of guilt. And then it's like, why was she just left in your car, decomposing? Like what is going on? People are pulling old repost videos of him constantly reposting about him being so jealous that he's probably gonna do harm and all of this stuff. And I honestly, it just really does. The internet believes that he did it. I'm not gonna lie. I also have an gut feeling that he did it as well, because I just don't understand.
Yeah, there's a serious amount of suspicious evidence that can lead people to believe that he is the one behind the murder. I mean, all right, so I kind of wanted to share. So as all this information was coming out, you know, in the beginning when they found the body, the internet, like you said, started doing their job and they started deep diving into his career and everything that he has posted. Apparently, he was heavily into Discord and live streaming, like I said. So, you know what's interesting about these parts of the internet? I feel like that's a different generation than me and you, especially me and you. So when you're talking about Discord and stuff like that, it's almost like the black market almost for me, because it's like it's a whole nother world that I know exists.
Black market is pretty extreme.
Well, think about it though. How many weirdos are on there and they don't even get exposed till they fucking find out, till they do a crime, and then all of a sudden it's like all these people were on their Discord and they were talking about this and that. Same thing with the Charlie Kirk thing. Like that man had like, you know, information that Discord found out about first. He had a whole thing where he posted where he was going to leave the gun, everything on a whole group.
Guy that murdered Charlie Kirk. Okay.
Yeah. So like, it's like, and this was all on Discord.
Wow.
So it goes to show you again, it's like a whole nother world where it's so unmonitored and so dark almost. Like you can just kind of say and get away with everything. That it's funny that when these things happen, a lot of the times Discord knew it first. And there were people that came out. Like there was a guy who had, you know, said that he had questioned David's association with younger girls before. It was like weird. And people on Discord were a little bit like suspicious of this girl who would, you know, pop up in his lives. So when the internet found out about all of this, somebody had leaked a song that David had made of this girl named Celeste. And I want you to listen to it. And then we'll talk about it.
I'm Celeste, the girl with my name tattooed on her chest. Smell her on my clothes like cigarettes. I hear her voice each time I take a breath. I'm obsessed. I'm Celeste.
Now, mind you, this is a little girl. So
yeah, I heard that song too. Like when people were like pulling shit on social media.
Yeah, and you know, it was confirmed that she had also another finger tattoo with his name on it. And it had on her ring finger, I think, it was David on her ring finger. So again, the internet started going down. Do you have any thoughts on this like song, the freakiness of it and all? No.
I mean, it's annoying because it's a nice song. But then it's like, you know,
dark.
It is dark.
It is nice, but dark.
You know, right. But seeing like, you know, the girl and how old she was and just the way that everything panned out and how people are even speculating that she got pregnant. He got her pregnant and then he had to off her because all this stuff. But then Sloan, he was saying something about, you know, they were expecting a child, that David had told some of his fans on Discord that him and Celeste were expecting a child. So it's just like now this is getting very weird. And there's like screenshots like on his video about that Discord conversation of him expecting that child, which is like, whoa, what the fuck is going on? So were people right about speculating that she was allegedly pregnant, or maybe, you know, that was a reason? I mean, like, again, we don't know. We don't have much information to go off of, but that's just how I feel about the song. I just feel like it's a little weird. I also feel like there's a little too much of an obsession
with gore, with dead. And obsession with this girl, because in other stories, when people broke down his other lyrics, like he's constantly talking about this world that they can't be together, and that in a world he'll wait for her, and it's like you think it's a love song, but when you think at the context now of someone being young and not being able to legally be together, it's really fucking ugly. It's really freaky.
It's annoying because why are you trying to turn something that's technically illegal into some star-crossed lover shit? Like this is not that.
He's a fucking weirdo. And so again, with everything coming up, we also saw this resurfaced video of a live where Celeste is on it, and I want you guys to see it.
Is this the one where she's like, oh, like, is it controversial?
Yes.
About
Yes, exactly.
I media trained you.
No, you didn't.
That's controversial.
It's controversial of kids.
Really good.
Okay,
it's been a good one. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Mwah, 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 mwah. Oh my! Delete everything. Delete everything. Everything goes. Everything.
So that's literally him telling his people on live stream to delete everything, which goes again to show you his awareness of what he's doing. He made sure that most photos with Celeste he kept in close friends, and then she was always covering her face or wearing a hoodie, which made it harder for her to identify, to see how young this girl looked.
Right.
And then also I thought it was weird. I mean, it's funny now when you look back on things, it's easy to say, wow, how did we not notice? But like, I never knew him, so I don't think I would have like, maybe if I would have known about him, I would have been able to maybe see it as a red flag. But this guy, he's been on tour, and in his tour, not only does he make these shirts that he hand makes them, he talks about it's a white button down shirt, and then he like puts blood on it with his hands, and it's like handprints. It looks like Dexter shit. Yeah. And then he sells them. Yeah. But then also he has a funeral casket coming in, like literally a funeral car.
On his show, right?
On his show. Yep. He brings a casket, real life, not a fake one, not a cute one, a real life casket. He has men in suits, like a real funeral, walking the casket in. And then he has a pen and paper where I guess you put in whatever the fuck you want to write in the casket. And it's freaky. So I have a few videos of that. So let's just take a look at it real quick.
Go ahead and take your hand
Put some blood on that hand. Take that hand and put it on that shirt. And I'm gonna do this 25 more times and I'll come back to you when it's finished. It's the bloody shirt. As you see, my hands are completely decimated, but we came out with a good uniform. I'm about to go on stage.
Now, why the fuck would the artist do that?
I love you from the afterlife.
No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no.
Yeah, he did it. No, because it's like really like this whole thing is weird because you had this whole alibi of like, yeah, it couldn't have been me. I was on tour, but then her body was already found decomposing. So the murder had happened before you went on tour, right? So that alibi just doesn't really add up. And now while you're on tour, all of your songs are around death. All of your songs are on loving and missing you in the afterlife. And, you know, having a funeral on the show, it almost to me represents that you know what you did, you feel the guilt, and you couldn't properly mourn her, and you feel guilty all the time. So you're gonna express that in your music, in your shows, even in your merch. And it's just kind of like crazy how even in the video, like he was like pulling a dead body, burying a dead body, and all this stuff. And I'm just like, and then dropping the song every year on her birthday. It's, to me, it's giving, you killed her and you know you did. And this is your way of coping with that because you know what you did was fucked up. And I don't know how the situation is going to pan out, but this whole thing is just disgusting. I mean, I even have like a quick video of that, like him pulling the dead body and all this shit. So I'm just going to play that here.
The heavier the snow, the heavier the rain. After watching you go, dance with your eyes, eyes shut, smoking degrees, round us, in my veins, 'cause my heart beats once.
Yeah, man.
Well, they say that that girl right there that appears has like resemblance of Celeste.
That's
All
the
his
first thing I
girls,
thought.
All the girls in his music videos have that like black hair, wavy curly hair look to them. But it's funny because the truth is actually went into this situation, I guess, and he kind of believes that David gave his soul up for success. And in that music video, he uses that music video as an example because prior to that, David wasn't making this video with this guy blindfolded. And basically go check it out. It's a big breakdown. You know, the truth is always has his little facts straight. So he can explain it better than I can.
No, for real.
However, he mentions this music video. There's 3 stages of giving up your soul. There's the beginning, there's the end. So that scene that you just showed with David being without the blindfold and then the new David carrying the blindfold is the death of the old David giving his soul up to the devil, the Illuminati, for the new one.
Oh my gosh. Yo,
Yeah, because then
breaking this shit down.
Yeah.
Yo.
And then he says, you know, because you notice after this, I think the music video, David's no longer wearing the blindfold. So there's a few music videos where he's wearing that blindfold and then he's no longer. And now he's into this whole dark, you know, stuff. And so anyways, the truth is, go check it out. He breaks it down further, but that's funny that you mentioned that because obviously the girl was found in the trunk. But also this reminds me of what you mentioned earlier. So David's been on interviews before and he talks about this manga that he wrote. And this manga is where he talks about his 2 personalities. There's Tommy, who is the murderer who kills people. He has this thirst for killing. And then the good, which is David, who is meant to be, who is a detective who is supposed to solve the murders of Tommy, who ends up being him anyway. So it's this whole manga idea. But again, this goes back to the same thing, his obsession with gore, his obsession with killing, his obsessions with, he's even been on interviews and said that he likes gore porn. And he's obsessed with that to the point where it became a problem. So, you know, you have someone who's like into really dark things, you know what I mean? Where it's like, there's one thing to be into it where you're right, you can see it every now and then, but to be obsessive like that where it's in your music
causing a problem,
right?
Like,
it's in your music, it's in your music, it's in your music videos, it's in your
lyrics,
yeah, it's everything about you. You want it to be your manga, you want it to be every art piece you touch. It really shows
a reflection of you, and that's why I'm like, yo, bro, you did it, bro. And it's like you're not even trying to hide it. Like the body was left in your car, the music video, you know, with you dragging the body, putting the body in the trunk in the car, all of these lyrics in the song, everything that you just mentioned, the bloody shirt merch, like him just constantly talking about his obsession with gore, his obsession with Celeste, like, you know, just him having an obsessive personality. It seems like even with some of his reposts, like, you know, it showed that, again, like I said, him being jealous to the point where he was obsessive, or him being like, oh, you know, I can't have you, nobody can have you, like, or I feel like I'm about to kill, you know, it's like crazy. And I just feel like with that type of personality, like, and him showcasing that in all of his art, you're literally telling us who you are. And then on top of that, a little narcissistic, I'm not gonna lie. It's like very narcissistic. Like even the whole manga that you just mentioned, like it's about him. Like it's just like, me personally, I don't like writing about me like that. I don't know how people like writing everything about themselves, and it doesn't always have to be narcissistic, but I don't know, this whole thing is feeling a little,
I think he's a little weirdo at the end of the day, because even he's just emotionally immature,
right? But that explains why he was with Celeste,
exactly. But then also just like, again, the things that he says, it's almost like it's weird. It's like you're fucking weird. You're very immature, and you're like a crybaby. And there's videos of him like when he's crying about the song Afterlife, that he starts crying. And not to say that artists cannot cry during a performance, but context always matters. And when you're sitting there dating an 11-year-old girl, 13-year-old girl,
bro,
to me that looks, you're doing that thing that R. Kelly did.
Yeah.
Okay, that R. Kelly did. You saw how he was crying on national TV?
Yeah.
You know those things that they do when they're like fucking weird in the head, and they want you to believe them so bad, so they're gonna cry and that, like, ugh.
You know, I'm really upset right now because it's just like, you're not, what's the word I'm looking for? You're giving us anime nerds a bad rep, bro. Like, no, because I'm really annoyed because you're really talking about the manga. Obviously, you like anime, you like this and you like that. And it pisses me off because, like, I'm a part of that community. And you're a fucking weirdo in the community. And like, I feel like there's a lot of people that always generalize in the anime community and assume that we're all like him. And it pisses me off because it's like, I can't even say nothing because there is a subcategory of people in the community that are like that. But it pisses me off because it's like, bro, what the fuck? Like, really? You're really giving us a bad rep. Like, I really don't fuck with that shit. Like, I really don't. And I hate that. I hate that there really is a category of people that are like him, that probably most likely could relate to one another. And what annoys me too about him is that people wouldn't suspect a thing about him.
That's the craziest part.
Because he's so soft-spoken, you know, and also he does look younger, you know, for his age. So people would probably think he was the same age as exactly. Harmless. People would probably think he was the same age as Celeste. Probably wouldn't even like look at it unless they knew him.
And that's
what pisses me off too, because it's like, damn, like what the fuck is this shit, yo? What is this? Like, and I don't like that. I don't like that he looks like he can be innocent and he sounds like he can be innocent and he's not. That's what bothers me.
Yeah, so they said that, you know, David had this like weird obsession with Hello Kitty because Celeste had an obsession with Hello Kitty. And, you know, obviously the internet was doing their whole digging and stuff. This is all what the internet has brought up. But they also had brought up a video of supposedly David cleaning off Celeste's shoes. Did you see that?
No, I never saw that.
So it was just this random video and he's cleaning them off and people are saying like, oh, he's cleaning them off. Why would he be cleaning them off? It's a little suspicious. So there goes this video right here.
Oh, I did see that. And they were just her shoes. Like, wow.
Yeah, it was just random as fuck. Yeah.
There's just so much like evidence, I feel like, against this guy that they need to figure that they need to wrap this shit up.
Well, they're saying that the reason why it's taking so long is because at the end of the day, they want to do their job. They have to legally, right? You don't want to fumble the bag. And it's the same thing that happens like with OJ when he was on trial. You'd make one mistake.
Def did it though.
Yeah, and look, they made one mistake and they brought in that glove. And that changed the entire course of that entire thing. It's a game at the end of the day. Legal shit is a game. It's not about who did it and who don't. In America, it's about who has the best lawyer and who has the best strategy to get the fuck out and give you the least amount of thing. That's just really what it is. So that's what they're saying. I'm pretty sure that the cops are doing, detectives are doing their job, but like anything legally, it takes time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It does take time. And so I'm hoping that they're doing a thorough job and then something does come out of it. But I do want to talk about, I know you mentioned, the age and stuff like that. And it made me think about the adults that were around David who had to have seen Celeste, who had to have seen this little girl and question. Because when you look at her, she is visibly a baby.
Very young, yes.
And it reminded me of what happened yesterday
in
the street.
So, all right, story time.
Yeah, so Tiana and I were in the street, whatever. We had just parked the car and we see these two young Spanish girls. They're literally young. I don't even know how to tell their age. They were like 11.
No, they look like they'd be 12, 13, 14 around there.
No, not 14. They were babies, okay? They're maybe 12, 13.
I think, yeah.
But they were dressed a little more than what she should have.
One of them was. One of them had
like a belly out.
One of them had makeup on, and then had a piercing.
Oh, okay.
Belly piercing, and she was wearing a black crop top with jeans. The
Right.
other one, black top, jeans. It wasn't a crop top.
They
Cool.
look like fucking babies. And they, pretty girls, whatever. They were just there by themselves.
Yeah.
Okay. And they look like they were at the deli. They just came from the deli or some shit.
Yeah.
And long story short, this guy who's parked in front of me, dirty man, was sitting there.
Older man.
Old.
Yep.
Harassing them. They look so visibly uncomfortable.
Like we were parked behind this guy sitting in the car, and like they definitely looked mad uncomfortable. Like, oh my God, can he stop talking to me? Type shit. Like
Right.
we all know that. Look, and he just wouldn't stop talking. So he gets in his car, and then we get out because we're about to go somewhere, and he's still there.
And it's funny because I was telling Tiana, I'm like, I want to say something. And she's like, let's go, fuck it. But at the same time, he gets in his car. So I'm like, oh, okay.
But so I'm thinking he's gonna drive off, but he didn't drive off. He's still looking out the window trying to talk to these girls.
Lowered the window.
Literally lowered the window to talk to them. So I literally was like, "Are you good?" Like stepped in front of the window, like, "Yo, are you good?"
And
he's
then,
like, "Huh?"
Yeah. Now he want to play the Spanish card. So now,
no. He spoke English,
right? But then
Fuck
he
outta
want to
here.
act stupid. So then I asked him in Spanish, like, "Okay, so what's up? Like, you all right?" Oh, they're from my same country. Talk all bullshit. Okay,
bullshit,
predator.
bullshit.
Okay, he was being fucking ugly, and the worst part is when he fucking smiled, he had two ugly rusted golden teeth.
It wasn't even gold. It was like
Chocolate,
black, silver, brown. It was rusted. Like you could tell that shit was
pennies.
like rust. Yeah, like
Man had pennies on his teeth, bro.
Oh. That shit hasn't been clean for years is what it fucking looked like, yo. Oh, and he was just like trying to, and then I really was over it. I was not smiling with him. Like, I was just looking at him crazy. Like,
and
what?
it just made me fucking think. Because, like, obviously that whole interaction, the girls were fine. I asked them, they know him. They said no. I said, okay.
They didn't know him.
They eventually walked into the deli. It was all good. The thing was deaded, right? But it made me think, right? That moment really made me think about the David situation because it made me like I've been feeling uneasy about this. And then to see that there are actual men who shamelessly are doing this in public. And there are so many bystanders that don't do anything.
No.
You got two females coming out the car ready to fight this man.
Literally.
To protect these little girls.
Literally.
And there's a famous man walking around with a 13-year-old girl and no one said anything. And it made me think about R. Kelly.
Yeah.
There were so many people that just watched this man walk around, marry an underage girl, and no one said anything. Why are we not protecting our children?
Because certain people that are around that, in their head, it's normal. In their head, they're normalizing that behavior. So for them, for people to come out and say, oh, I didn't know, or I'm not associated with that. It's like, cut this shit. Like, if you saw, you knew, okay? You knew. But what really irritates me more about the situation is like, yes, there are disgusting grown-ass men that do this, but what I don't like is that people turn a blind eye to younger guys that do this because they are under the disguise of, oh, they seem harmless, they seem innocent, they're soft-spoken, or they are probably the same age as her, because there are men that do look younger than their age too, and they are not. So then now how does that factor in?
It doesn't factor
in,
but
that's
because
what
he's
I'm
famous.
saying.
Everybody knows his age.
But that's what I'm saying, though. It's like, that's the situation where you got to be careful of those guys extremely, because they're good with their words. Like, they're not going to come up to the girl like the guy being a creep. They're going to be more strategic about their shit. They're going to be more manipulative about their shit and more soft-spoken, which is even 10 times more dangerous.
100%.
Because now, being young and susceptible and vulnerable, you're probably going to like think, oh my God, this guy's so good. He's trying to help me. He's da-da-da-da. You're going to fall for all of the shit that they know you're going to fall for because they're manipulative. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
I think this conversation, is a bigger conversation about not only protecting your kids and being on top of what they consume on social media, but even things like that are meant for kids, which is like Fortnite, Twitch. You have to regulate that. As hard as that sounds, because I'm not a parent and I'm no one to say how, because I have no fucking idea how. It's just the fact that this is an example of how dangerous the internet can be. And I'm really glad that the teacher of this little girl made it a duty of his to talk to his students about the dangers of social media. And I want to play that clip right here.
I got a picture on TMZ of this other kid exchanging stuff with the rapper who we alleged did this stuff. Hold on a second, because he's also in my classroom.
Wait, how long ago was this?
We all just found out yesterday who it was, but she's been missing since I taught her. So when I taught her, she met this dude on social media. He was a rapper in LA. He came and got her. She ran away from home. She was gone for like a month. The cops found her in Hollywood, brought her back to our school. She came back to our school, kind of told people this story. She disappeared again in May of that year, May of 2024. That's when her friends told me what happened, that it was this rapper. And then I found out yesterday that she's now dead in that rapper's car, cut into pieces. You want to know how they met? I feel like I just said it. Social media.
Oh my God, I did not see that video.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
And these are the conversations that our teachers, that our parents, that our friends should be having with these children. Because at the end of the day, look, even the famous people, look at the things that they do, the horrible things that they do. Look at what happened. Look at Epstein. Look at R. Kelly. Look at all these people look at Diddy. Look at all these freaks in the industry, and how accessible and more easy it is now to have access to children. You know what I'm saying? It's really, really sad. And to go back to what he said about this other photo of the kids taking a picture of David. So when this all came out, people were saying that David was paying off her friends to not say nothing.
Yeah.
Going back to bystanders. We must educate our children. Well, first of all, the fact that we have to educate our peers, our grown-ass adult peers, to do this. But more importantly, the children.
Yeah.
That money should not have bought that. You should have spoken up. You should make it bigger. And a lot of people were speculating when, the whole thing came out locally from Lake Eleanor or something like that, wherever they're from. People were already suspecting, like, oh my God, this might be Celeste, because they knew she was missing. Yeah. The brother tried to bring it up to authorities, and the authorities said, well, there's no evidence, so what can we do? So it's like really fucked up at the end of the day, and it makes me want to cry, because it's just like, again, what the fuck, man? Like, it just made me think about those little girls yesterday. Like, they literally were little Latina girls. Like, that could have been, that was Celeste, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're like little kids.
Same
and
curly black hair.
Shit fucked me up, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I'm emotional.
And there's even like screenshots of like, Celeste, like when she was alive, like her best friend texting her, like, making sure she's safe, like, checking in on her. And, it's crazy that all of these things are surfacing, and even her best friend didn't want her to be around David anymore. Like, it's just like a lot of shit that is out where this man did it.
Well, now that you have your sentiments of that, I want to share this video that was on TikTok that shows all the reasons why people think he's guilty.
He did it. Oh boy.
He knew exactly what he was doing. Let's start off with this lyric from one of his songs. He said, "I don't care about the law when I'm with you because I be breaking it all the time." Here's a picture that he put on his close friends. It is said that he would only post his relationship with Celeste on his close friends because obviously nobody could see it. And this is them together. This is a tattoo that the 15-year-old girl had on her finger. This was also posted to Instagram and it says David. This is another Instagram story that he posted, but so cleverly he covers up her face because she is of course 15 years old. This is proof that for 2 years in a row, he uploaded love songs on Celeste's birthday. Her birthday is September 7, 2010. This is a missing poster that was actually being put on Facebook and social media by her family. Now, this one's a little bit confusing because it says she was last seen February 14th of 2024. And then there's another poster that says April 2024. So I'm not sure if she had a history of running away. This is another photo from December 2023 of David and Celeste together. This is a screenshot from his Discord where someone's saying he has a girlfriend. They're pretty sure he's dating and her name is Celeste. This is of course the matching tattoo that he had with her on his finger because obviously he couldn't put her name on his finger because she's 15. Proof that romantic homicide was uploaded on her birthday. This is another picture of them together, and on this one I think they were on FaceTime with someone. The person who put this photo said, "Celeste and David, don't let me sleep." Another photo of the girl with David while they were like video chatting. Okay, so pay attention to this one. This is a photo of Celeste and David that was uploaded by a user named Lamp. Lamp said, "Hey, who's the girl?" David said, "You are a fed." David later says, "I know that he leaked already. We're literally preparing to sue him. He's about to owe me $30,000. This is a music video that he uploaded 7 months ago, which was 10 months after Celeste went missing. And it's a very scary music video where he's basically putting a body into a trunk and then burying it. And this isn't a separate video, but there's basically an unaliver standing in front of him at the edge of a bed. This is another Discord screenshot that Celeste herself apparently posted. She was replying to another girl and she posted this photo of David wearing a shirt that says "I love my girlfriend," and I'm assuming that that heart in the middle had a picture of them together as a couple. This is a tweet from May in 2022, and it is said that they were talking in 2022. He said, "When I was writing this, I got a notification from you as you were talking about wanting to be with your mom and your sister again. You said, 'Take me where I belong,' but our circumstances won't allow us to be in our ideal situations. We got to push through it." Was he insinuating that she wanted to go home and he wasn't letting her?
Okay, that was heavy. That was heavy. This conversation is very heavy. So, what are your thoughts on that video? Any thoughts on that? Or
I think it is really wild how he has an entire digital footprint of all of these receipts of him and this girl together.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you cannot lie your way out of this. There's so many receipts of, you know, you posting on the close friends, you with her, the Discord, people asking, you know, all these screenshots, you on video calls on the Discord, like, you know, it being posted on her birthday, like every year. It's like the video, everything that we discussed before, like, you know, his music, his lyrics, like all of that stuff, even him cleaning the shoes. Like, it's like, bro, what is this?
he living in a manga, bro.
Bro, that's what like it's like, you think you Dexter for real? Like, this is weird. This whole fucking thing is weird, and the audacity to show to sell the bloody shirts, you know, considering the context, it's just not. I don't know.
At the very least, he's a PDF file. And that's at the very least. We don't know because apparently, I don't know if this is a verified truth or not. I don't know. Don't mark me as a source. But I think I did hear that his bodyguard is also under investigation for the murder. Maybe. I don't know if that was just rumor, if that's just speculation. because I think I did also hear that that same bodyguard did come out and say that he had nothing to do with it. But that all is to say that this is a very sad situation, and it's a developing one. So obviously from the time of recording, this is September 21st. We don't have, this is pretty much all the information we have.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, you know, in the next few weeks, there'll be more details.
There'll be way more details.
There'll be more answers.
Way more stuff surfacing online or resurfacing.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So, I mean, overall, that's what I have to say about the thing. I am very emotional about it. I'm not going to lie, because, you know, you can be all types of shit, but leave the children alone. And I stand by that 100% on all avenues, on all topics. So, makes me sad that this is even a thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you know what? This is not the only one. That's the saddest part. You know, in Hollywood, there are movies about, you know, children in trafficking situations.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to get in trouble on YouTube, but y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. So, yeah, I mean, it's heavy. So I really, you know, apologize for the heavy context here. Yeah, you have anything else to say?
I mean, if you guys are listening and hearing this or watching and seeing all this stuff, what do you guys think? Do you think he did it? And, you know, give your reason why. Do you know any other additional information? Maybe something we missed. Do you think he didn't do it? Give your reason why.
It's a good question, though.
Because, you know, there's people that, you know,
that do think that.
That think that and are actually coming up with their own documents as to why so, and their own, you know, backing up their answers and all this stuff.
I mean, it makes good conversation, right? It's easy to believe that he did it.
Right.
But why? And that's the first question I had was, why would he
leave it
in the car? In the car that's registered to you.
That's what I'm saying.
Do you want to get caught?
Like,
was this a ritualistic thing that you made?
Yes.
Was this a offering? Like, to me, and that's where the conspiracy shit.
Truth came in. It was like, yo, she was the offering, bro.
Yeah, because
just like how they said Kanye's mom was the offering.
Right, but Kanye didn't do all that. Like, this is literally, it almost like you want us to know.
Yeah.
You want us to find out. It's almost like a
he
psycho.
Wants to get caught.
Yeah, it's like this weird elaborate. That's what it feels like at the end of the day. I don't know any world where there's that much coincidence.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, I don't believe in coincidence that much.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what, when I first saw this like surface, I'm like, why would he leave the body in the trunk? But then seeing all of this other stuff, I'm like, oh,
and then carrying on.
Yeah.
Like, you know, a lot of people say, if that was my car and I didn't have nothing to do with it, I would have came out immediately and said something like, what the fuck was this? But he hasn't said a word. He was actually touring up until he had no other choice but to cancel his tour because it was getting hot.
Yeah.
So, and then I forgot to mention this, which will remind me. Thank you very much for reminding me. There was also another car at another impound in Hollywood that was just found a few days after with a dead body in the trunk. They're saying, not I'm saying, they're saying that there could be a serial killer in LA and they're trying to plant it on David. That's what they're saying.
That sounds very far-fetched.
I'm saying they have no relation at all.
Yeah, that doesn't sound related.
Right. And it just could be a very strong coincidence, but they're saying.
Oh, what if it's just him?
That's what they're also saying. The other thems are saying that.
The other thems.
Yeah, all those people are saying that he's this isn't his first rodeo and he's done more.
But then why would you leave it in the car?
I don't know, bro.
This is the part that's weird.
It's very weird. It is a very weird story.
The cops need to do their job quick before the internet does it for them. I feel like the internet's already doing their job.
Yeah. They are. They're doing it. So, I mean, again, like I said, said. Let us know your thoughts below.
Yeah, for sure.
Comment what we missed, what we didn't miss. Did you like this type of like stuff? Do you know, more different stuff? I know it's not baddies, but
right. And like, what are you guys researching about this? Like, because I know there are some people that are like deep, like balls deep into this story, like a whole rabbit hole.
Did you even know about it?
Yeah. Did you even know about it?
Did you know David? Like,
yeah. Did you know his music? Did you listen to his songs? Like, were you a fan of his music? Like, you know, these are questions that, like for sure. Let us know in the comments, like what you guys think. And yeah, so with that being said, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram. That's JESSI.strange. And where can they find you, Tiana?
You guys can find me on Instagram at Randomania1. You guys can find us on Instagram at The Petty Headquarters. You can find us on YouTube and all podcast platforms at
The Petty Headquarters.
We release episodes weekly, so don't forget to tune in. So with that being said, this was your weekly dose of mess.